Envision crimson dunes stretching to infinity, where humanity's boldest dream a thriving Martian colony hinges not just on rockets and habitats, but on a trillion-dollar riddle: who owns the red planet's riches? In October 2025, as SpaceX's Starship prototypes roar toward orbital tests, Elon Musk's vision of a million-person Mars city by 2050 ignites global debate. Water ice buried in polar craters, iron-rich regolith for construction, helium-3 for fusion energy — these aren't sci-fi props. They're resources worth quadrillions, per NASA estimates. Yet, under the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, no nation can claim Mars, and private firms like SpaceX tread a legal gray zone. Billionaires like Musk, SpaceX, Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, and emerging players in China and India aren't just explorers, they restaking claims in a cosmic gold rush. For Luxalize viewers chasing elite fortunes and futuristic frontiers, this isn't colonization. It's the ultimate power play. Does the red planet belong to all humanity, or the first to mine it? Let's orbit the legal labyrinth, geopolitical stakes, and trillion-dollar treasures shaping Mars' fate. Mars' hidden bounty, resources worth quadrillions. Mars isn't a barren rock, it's a treasure trove, teeming with assets that could fuel interstellar empires. NASA's Perseverance rover, roving a zero crater since 2021, has confirmed vast water ice reserves, up to 21.5 billion cubic kilometers in the mid-latitudes, enough to cover the planet in a 1.5-meter ocean. This isn't just H2O, it's rocket fuel split into hydrogen, oxygen, and life support for colonies. Regolith, the rusty soil blanketing Mars, packs iron, silicon, aluminum prime for 3D printed habitats. 2025 studies from ESA's ExoMars rover reveal magnesium and calcium for concrete like Martian bricks, rare finds. Helium-3 in the soil, a fusion fuel scarce on Earth but abundant on Mars, potentially worth $40,000 per liter, powering clean energy back home. Volcanic regions like Tharsis bulge with metals, nickel, copper, platinum group elements from ancient lava flows. ISRU in situ resource utilization tech, tested in 2024's MOXIE experiment on Perseverance, extracts oxygen from CO2 atmosphere, key for breathable air and propellants. Economic haul: McKinsey's 2025 report pegs Mars resources at $10 quadrillion by 2050, dwarfing Earth's mining industry. For billionaires, it's not extraction, it's empire building. Musk's Starship could ship back helium-3, turning Mars into a cosmic Saudi Arabia. But access: rovers like China's Zhurong 2021 map deposits, while private probes from Rocket Lab scout for clients. The bounty beckons, but ownership, that's the warhead. The legal labyrinth: Outer Space Treaty versus commercial ambitions. Space law is Earth's blueprint for the stars, and it's creaky. The 1967 Outer Space Treaty OST, ratified by 114 nations, including the US and China, declares outer space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, is not subject to national appropriation by claim of sovereignty. Mars, free for exploration and use by all states, but for peaceful purposes. No nukes, no military bases. Resources: article to bans ownership, treating space as a global commons like Antarctica. But the 1979 Moon Agreement, ratified by only 18 nations, not the US, explicitly prohibits commercial exploitation, ignored by major players. Enter the 2020 Artemis Accords, NASA's US-led pact with 45 signatories. By 2025, it allows safety zones around bases and resource utilization if sustainable, sidestepping OST bans. Critics like Russia call it American imperialism. China pushes its ILRS lunar station as a rival. US law leads. The 2015 SPAC Act grants citizens rights to asteroid resources obtained. Extended to Mars via 2020 EO. Musk SpaceX cheekily declares, for services on Mars, parties recognize Mars as a free planet, no Earth government has authority. 2025 updates: ISA-like talk stall. UNOOSAS March session debates benefit sharing, but no Mars code. Billionaires exploit the void. Musk's 2025 plan for uncrewed starships ignores treaties, claiming finders keepers for ISRU. Geopolitics brews: China's 2025 Tianwen to sample return probes RES. India's Mongolianta maps water without rules, first boots plant the flag de facto ownership. Billionaires' red ambitions: Musk, Bezos, and the Mars moguls. Billionaires aren't waiting for treaties, they're forging Mars' future. Elon Musk, SpaceX CEO net worth to $180 billion plus, dominates. His 2025 update targets uncrewed starships to Mars in 2026, crewed by 2028, self-sustaining city by 2050, Musk's play. ISRU for propellant factories mining water ice for methane, oxygen, turning Mars into a backup Earth. Starships to $1 million, launch cost down from $1 billion for SLS, makes it viable. 2025 Starship V to tests orbital refueling, key for 1,000 ship fleets. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin to $100 billion counters. His 2025 vision favors anneal cylinders orbiting habitats over Mars' gravity well. But Blue Moonlander 2025 test eyes lunar resources as Mars stepping stones. Bezos' $10 billion climate pledge funds, ISRU tech for helium-3 mining. Rivalry, Musk mocks Bezos' slow approach. Bezos sues NASA over contracts. Emerging moguls, Yusaku Maezawa Japanese billionaire, book Starship circumlunar trips. Jared Isaacman Shift 4 funds Polaris missions, scouting Mars analogs. China's Jack Ma Alibaba backs private firms like Origin Space for asteroid mining extensible to Mars. Investments, $15 billion in Mars Tech 2025, per PwC up 25% from 2024. Musk's twos claims Mars sovereignty, echoing libertarian dreams. For billionaires, resources equals autonomy. Mine Mars, own the stars. Geopolitical stakes, nations race for red riches. Mars ownership is Earth's proxy war. U.S. leads via NASA. SpaceX, Artemis for 2028 lands humans on Moon as Mars rehearsal. 2025 budget allocates to $1 billion for ISRU. China counters, Change 8 2028 tests 3D printed lunar bases. ILRS 2030 with Russia eyes Mars precursor. Tianwen to 3 2028 samples Mars soil for RES. India's ISRO, Mongolian 3 2028 maps resources. Use Hope to orbiter scouts water. Europe ESA, ExoMars rover 2028 drills for life and minerals. Russia's Roscosmos, post-Ukraine sanctions, joins China but lags, tensions. OST bans appropriation, but Artemis allows use. US interprets as mining rights. China's 2025 white paper claims shared benefits, but accuses US of space hegemony. 2025 UN debates, no consensus on Space Resource Act, stalling ISA-like body. Private versus public, SpaceX's Mars-free planet clashes with OST's province of mankind. Wars. Not kinetic, but cyber-hacking rovers for data. Stakes, first miner sets precedents, controlling fusion fuel, helium-3, $40 billion, ton potential. Tech frontiers, mining Mars treasures, extracting Mars resources, demands godlike tech. ISRU leads, NASA's Moxie 2021203 produced 122 grams oxygen from CO2 scaled for colonies. 2025's Perseverance successor drills to meters for ice. SpaceX's Red Dragon concept melts permafrost for water. Robotics, Boston Dynamics Hyundai-owned, Mars-adapted Spotbot scout regolith. Astrobotics Peregrine 2023 lunar, evolves for Mars mining. AI from DeepMind optimizes extraction. 2025 sims predict 90% efficiency. Challenges, dust storms blind solar panels. Low gravity 38% Earth complicates drilling. Solutions. Nuclear reactors kilopower, 2025 test for power. 3D printers using regolith for habitats, ICON $60 million NASA contract, cost. $100 billion for initial colony, per Musk offset by helium-3 exports, 1 ton powers US for a year. Billionaires Fund, Musk's $100 billion, Mars City Fund 2025 launch crowdsources tech. Ethical and environmental minefields, Red Planet perils mining Mars isn't pristine. OST mandates avoid harmful contamination, but drilling risks microbial extinction if life exists. 2025 ExoMars seeks signs. Ethical quagmire, planetary protection versus progress. Astrobiologists warn of Earth chauvinism. Environmental, regolith mining creates dust plumes, worsening storms, water extraction depletes aquifers. Terraforming Musk's nuke poles idea could melt ice caps, flooding sites. Human rights, colonies under corporate law. Musk's direct democracy 2s raises dystopia fears indentured labor for resources. Global equity, OSTs benefit all clashes with private profits. 2025 debates, developing nations demand shares, Africa's space divide echoes. Billionaires angle, humanity's backup, but who boards the ark? The future, colonies by 2050, ownership by conquest. Musk's timeline, uncrewed 2026, crewed 2028, million by 2050. NASA's Mars sample return 2033 analyzes resources. ESA's human mission 2040 follows. By 2100, McKinsey envisions $5 trillion, Mars economy helium-3 fusion, asteroid relays. Ownership evolution, 2025 UN pushes space resource framework, sharing 20% profits. But SpaceX's Mars-free could spark secession. Wars, resource conflicts if China claims polar ice. Optimism, colonies foster unity, like ISS. For billionaires, Mars equals immortality. Musk's multi-planet species, ending, claiming the red crown. Martian colonies, humanity's leap, but resource ownership is the crown jewel or thorn. From Musk sovereignty bids to OST's commons ideal, trillions hinge on legal frontiers. Billionaires lead the charge, but equity demands all share the bounty. Luxalize uncovers the elite's cosmic gambit where red dust hides golden empires. If this red planet riddle rivets you, like the thought, drop your claim in comments and subscribe for more billionaire blueprints on stellar fortunes.